We get into class this day, and we're going to talk about the earth is in the hands of the wicked. So we know who the wicked are. You can look around, you can tell who's possessing the earth at this time. Right? Everywhere you go, everything you see is possessed by the so-called Edomites. Let's just call it as it is. They possess everything. They are the Edomites. Okay, so we're going to get into the scriptures, and we're going to go to Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. So I hope you brothers and sisters are writing this down. Colossians 3 and 17. As we teach these classes, sometimes we have to go back and forth. We have to go way back, bring back old classes to brothers and sisters' memory, because we forget. And some brothers and sisters have never heard it before. So those of us who have heard it got to back up and go back through our notes and remember and refresh. This helps us to keep the words within us. All right. So and to have understanding of the scriptures. So we're going to go to Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. Colossians 3 and 17, and it reads, "And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Heavenly Father, Abba Yahweh, by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai." Everything is by the Holy and Heavenly Father and His Son. All praises to them. I wanted to open up with 1 Thessalonians in chapter 5, and I want to see if brothers and sisters understand this, because it's one thing to just read a verse every day and say, okay, this verse here is going to help me get through the day. But we have to know why we're reading these verses. We have to know what's coming on this earth and why we read a verse a day, or multiple verses a day, or read a chapter, or study to show ourselves approved. It's the reason why we do it, because we want to be aware of the things that are around us, and we want to prepare ourselves for when that day of tribulation comes. All right. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. We're going to start at verse 1. Okay, so it reads, "But of the time and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Most High so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety," then you hear people saying that today. They don't use the word safety, but they say peace and security. When you listen to the president speak, when you listen to the vice president speak, that's all they talk about. We are trying to issue peace and security amongst the nation.
Well, just moments ago, Vice President Mike Pence spoke at the Peace and Security in the Middle East Summit. The two-day conference, led by the U.S., is meant to address several issues in the Middle East, but Iran says the U.S. is using it to isolate the nation. This, as the Vice President specifically named Iran as the biggest threat to the region.
At the outset of this historic conference, leaders from across the region agreed that the greatest threat to peace and security in the Middle East,
in which both the Israeli people and the Palestinian people can live in peace and security.
Two states for two peoples living side by side in peace and security.
They can live side by side in peace and security.
Peace and security.
That's how we will find new pathways to peace and security. Peace and security.
Peace and security.
Peace and security.
Peace and security.
Peace and security. Peace and security. Two states living side by side in peace and security. For greater peace and security for the entire region. So today, I state clearly and with conviction America's commitment to seek the peace and security of a world without nuclear weapons.
So this is prophecy, what they're saying. They're not saying safety, but they're saying security. You don't think they know what they're saying? With all the things going on, with identities being stolen, with credit card numbers being stolen, okay, all these things that are going on, computers being hacked, they're trying to provide peace and security so you can feel safe. And so this is going on now. We didn't hear this saying before. They weren't talking about this 50 years ago, 40, 30 years ago. Peace and security. That wasn't the saying. America was in its golden years. Okay, they had the Good Old Boys on TV, Leave It to Beaver and Father Knows Best, and they had the Good Old Boy shows, Brady Bunch and things like that. But now what we're looking at is prophecy coming to pass. There's no order. There's no family values anymore. Everything is destroyed. Okay, you can get away with anything, even though we have camera footage of everything. It doesn't matter. You still got to prove it. So this is what it's saying. It's saying, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay, a woman when they're pregnant and they're having, when they're having overlays or symptoms of the baby coming, right? They feel that pain. The birth pains. They come every hour, every 30 minutes. They feel that, and that's how the Most High is relaying this day and time to what's going on. Like that guy went in New Zealand and shot up the mosque. No one saw that coming. It's like a birth pain. Every 5 seconds, something like that happens. Okay, and then you have the copycat guys that do the same thing. You hear about explosions or someone getting carjacked and raped, and you're hearing all this stuff, and we don't know when it's going to come, even though we have cameras everywhere, even though we have high security alert statuses. Nothing is changing. So this is the times that the Bible was prophesying about. And it says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. You're not going to be scared. You're already going to know how to protect yourself. A thief can't break into your house because you already know that you prayed up, that you got a hedge around you, that the Most High is going to protect you. Verse 5, ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are of the night. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others. And what is he saying? Sleep. That's saying not being aware. Not paying attention to what the scriptures are saying. You can watch the news all day long. That's not making you aware. What's making you aware is when you watch the news and you filter it through the Bible. Everything has to be filtered through the Bible. So it's more than just reading a verse. You got to know what you're reading. You got to have the intellect to understand what's going on in today's times versus what's in this Bible, and how the Bible predicted that these things were going to happen. It says, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Okay, sober is to be what? Not drunk, not staggering, to be alert. This is, for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober. So he's basically saying that this society today is a drunk nation. It's not sober. They're not making sense with anything. You listen to the president, Donald Trump. He doesn't make sense. All the people's in mourning with him being in office. Everything he say hurts the rest of the population. It says, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. These are protection. All right, these are toolkits that he's given us to protect ourselves. For the Most High hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Hamashiach Yahushai. So this is what we're preparing ourselves for that day when he returns. Now we're going to go into the scriptures and show you when he returns and how he's going to return. Okay, let's go there. We already know that he's not going to meet this place as a man. He's not coming back like a man. Like the way he left is not the way he's going to exactly come back. He's going to be a God when he comes back. He's going to be powerful. Okay, nothing is going to stop him. He's going to be like the Hulk. His vengeance is going to make him madder. He's going to get stronger. The madder he gets, the stronger he gets. And the scriptures talk about that. Let's go to Isaiah 63. Let's talk about how they stole that information for the Hulk. Because we all know the Hulk says, you're making me angry. Where did they get that from? They got it from the scriptures. Let's go to Isaiah 63 and Isaiah 63, and let's start at verse 3. Okay, verse 3. Isaiah 63 and 3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger. This is Christ, Yahushua coming back on the earth. And trample them in my fury. That's angry. He's going to be angry when he shows back on the earth. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment. And I will stain all my raiment. If he's coming in a white garment, he's saying it's going to be stained with blood. That sound like somebody coming back to be nice? He's coming back angry. The only thing that's keeping him from coming back on the earth right now is the Most High. He's been ready to come back. He's been ready to come back and have vengeance on this place. He's like a pit bull right now with a chain on him, trying to get loose to come down here, and the Most High is holding him back. It's not time yet. He can't do nothing without the Most High. His strength comes from the Most High, so he has to wait on the Most High. Okay? For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeeming is come. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. What does he mean? He looked and there was none to help. He's moving so fast that even the angels can't keep up with him. He's so ready to tear this place up. That's what he's talking about. He's coming back by himself. The angels are coming, but he's coming back so fast, he's ready to destroy everything. It says, and I mean, you see that with the Avengers, with the Incredible Hulk. None of them can stop or hold Incredible Hulk back when he gets mad. He just takes off. And that's how Yahushua is going to come. It says, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me. And my fury, it upheld me. So what does he say? He said, with his anger, it's what's making him stronger. The angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. This is where they got the Hulk stuff from. Okay? It's Christ, Yahushua, Hamashiach. And I will tread down the people in mine anger. This is no allegory. This is how he's coming back. And make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth. Remember what the scripture said earlier, that these people walk around drunk. And he said he's coming as a thief in the night. If a thief in the night comes back, guess what? He's going to kill all the drunk people, those who are not sober. That's what Thessalonians was talking about. So that's how he's coming back. He ain't coming back to be nice or with roses in his hand or daisies or with a beautiful smile. Oh, he's coming back to destroy. Okay? Let's go to Matthew. People got to know this because people don't know how he's coming. Even in the Christian churches, they don't know he's coming back with fury for how they've been treating his people. Okay, let's go to Matthew 24 and let's go to verse 30. Matthew 24 and verse 30. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven. What are the clouds? Those are the chariots. Those are the angels. It says, with the power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Who is his elect? It's the 12 tribes of Israel. Let's go to Revelation chapter 7. Okay, and this is not in order. This is after the tribulation. This is after what we read in Isaiah 63. He's coming to do that before the tribulation. When he comes back and destroys, that's when the tribulation is going to happen. Because everything is going to be done, wasted. All the military is going to be destroyed. You ain't going to be able to see the sun. Okay? All the little economy things that you're used to doing, going to Macy's and to the mall, that's going to be done. All that's going to come to a cease. Everything. Sports games, concerts, done. Once he destroys everything, tribulation time. Okay? That's what's going to go down. So Isaiah 63 is talking about the destruction when he returns. That's the end all be all. No more things are going to move. That's what we be saying when he come back, man. Y'all just don't understand. We be telling people that, like, man, wait till he come back. It's over. And people don't, when we say that, people be looking at us like, what is he talking about? Yeah, y'all just don't know. Everything that you know here is going to be done. You're going to have to get yourself in order. Like we spoke about last night, being baptized, you better have your mind in check. Don't, you know what I mean? Your mind better be in order before he returns. When he brings judgment, that's when humility is going to be all over this place. Everybody's going to be trying to figure out how to get to the next level. All right. Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. The 4 winds are the 4 militaries, the 4 great militaries on the earth. The 4 great militaries are going to fight against the Most High. Right now, the angels are holding them back because Yahushua has not returned. When Yahushua returns, just like the Most High looses Yahushua, the angels are going to loose the militaries to go to fight against Yahushua. Then I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Does it say any other nation? Does it say Esau? Does it say Moab? Does it say Ammon? Does it say the Egyptians? No, it says the children of Israel only are going to be the ones that get sealed. It says of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000. On and on and on. Asher, Gad, Issachar, Zebulun, Simeon, Manasseh. You know, all these brothers are going to be sealed. They're going to be sealed so they can get through the tribulation. Okay? When they get sealed, they're going to endure through the tribulation because of their belief. Because they believed. Okay? But the elect, those of the elect, the 144,000 is going to be pulled out before that. The 144,000 is going to be pulled out to go to war. Okay? Let's go back to Matthew 24 and 31. It says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Because the Israelites are scattered all over the globe. All over the world the Israelites are scattered. So from the 4 ends of the other, which is north, south, east, and west, he's going to recover all the Israelites. Let's go from there and let's go over. I want to stay on subject, stay on point. Let's go to Matthew 25 and 31. Matthew 25 and 31. It reads, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep of his right hand, on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Who are his sheep? Let's go to Matthew 15. Let's go to let's go to Matthew 10 and 5. Let's find out who the sheep are. Let's make it real plain and simple. These people are always trying to say that everybody could be saved. Matthew 10 and 5. Okay, this is when he was on the earth talking to his disciples and telling them what they had to do, what their job was. Matthew 10 and 5 reads, These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So who are those sheep? Those are the sheep of the house of Israel. Let's go back to Matthew 25. It's not talking about no other nations. He says, don't go to the Gentiles. Back in those days, the Samaritans was a big population. He said, do not go into the ways of the Samaritans. He said, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The sheep were lost. That's why he has to gather them, because they're scattered. They don't know who they are. Okay, Matthew 25 and 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another. Why is he separating nation from a nation? Because the Israelites, remember he said, let the weeds and the wheat, or let the tares and the wheat grow together. Okay? Remember he said he has to separate. It's going to be people that look like Israel that are not going to be Israel. It's going to be people that look like the other nations that are going to be Israel. Okay? Only the angels are going to be able to truly know who is who amongst all those mixtures. They're going to pull them out. That's why he says, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Now, with that being said, there's no confusion, because the 144,000, he says they're going to keep the commandments. He said they're going to keep the commandments and they're going to believe. Now, who are the only ones out here teaching about keeping the commandments? The Negroes, the tribe of Judah, and the Gadites, and the Puerto Ricans. Those brothers are the only ones talking about keeping the commandments. Nobody else, no other churches are talking about keeping the commandments. It says that the 144,000 that come out of those tribes are going to be the saints. They're going to be all of Israel is the saints, but they're going to be the chosen ones who have kept the commandments that are going to fight with Hamashiach Yahushua. All right? So they're going to know who they are. It's just these brothers and sisters don't know who they are. It says, he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. See that? Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. See that? He's going to love those that he pulled out of them, out of the Gentiles. All right? Nowhere in here does it say Christians and Muslims, and it talks about the Israelites. All right? Let's go back. Matter of fact, let's go into the Apocrypha, because the Apocrypha is going to bring everything to light. So let's go to the Apocrypha, and we'll be able to understand more on Matthew 24 and Matthew 25. Let's go to 2nd Ezra's in the Apocrypha, chapter 13. And this is going to put everything in retrospect, everything in perspective. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 1. And it reads, And it came to pass after 7 days. Who is this? Ezra's. I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heavens. Now who is that? We just read that in Matthew 24 and 25. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. This is Yahushua. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Now, we were just talking about this. So, in Revelation chapter 7, it said that the angel had held back the four winds so they could seal all the servants. But in 2nd Ezra, it's saying that that angel that was holding those four winds back, in this chapter, he let them go. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven. Remember, those were militaries. To subdue the man that came out of the sea. Who's the man that came out of the sea? Yahushua. Came out of the sea. Now the heavens is also considered a sea. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. Okay, so on that mountain that he flew up upon, guess who's going to meet him there? Guess who's going to meet him up on that mountain? It's going to be his elect. It's going to be the 144,000 that kept the commandments. Let's go to Revelation 14 and let's read about it. Revelation 14, verse 1. Let's see what it says. Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. It says, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written on their foreheads. Now, how did they get there? How did they get there? They got there because they were pulled up by chariots. The 144,000 get snatched up and taken to the Middle East to fight with Yahushua in the place that they call Armageddon. How else are they going to get there? The multitude of the Israelites, the remnant of Israel, the 1/3, is going to be saved, but they're going to remain in the places where they dwell. They're going to remain in Canada, America, London. They're going to still be there. Because they got sealed, but they got to go through the tribulation. Okay, but in this particular verse, verse 2, and I heard a voice from heaven, and the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers, harping with their harps, because the Most High loves harps. That's his favorite instrument. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man can learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. See, how are they redeemed? They got pulled up. And what song is that? Is that a singing song? No, it's the commandments. They know the precepts and they know the commandments. They know how to put things together. They know what they expect. They know what's coming. They know what they got to do. Teach this word. These are they which were not defiled with women. What are the women? Different philosophies, different religions. Okay? You can't be in this truth and then be worshiping Islam or Buddhism or doing yoga. Okay? Yoga is also, the origins of yoga comes from the Middle East, Buddhism. Okay? You can't be part of the 144,000 doing all that stuff. These are they which were not defiled with women. And if you need a precept to prove that that's not talking about actual women, because remember the Levites, the priests, could get married to women. Remember that, and they were holy men. Let's go to Sirach chapter 15. Let me show you what the woman is in the Apocrypha. Sirach chapter 15, because you have these Christian so-called prophets talking about that these men are going to be virgins like the Catholic priests. But now we done found out that all these Catholic priests are pedophiles. So it ain't talking about men having women. It's talking about something else. This is Sirach chapter 15, verse 1. He that feareth the Lord will do good, and he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. And as a mother shall she meet him, and receive him as a wife married of a virgin. Okay, so what does that mean? It says, and as a mother shall she meet him and receive him as a wife married of a virgin. This truth is considered that mother. Okay, to obtain her is this truth. When you come into the truth, you become a virgin. Spiritually, you become a virgin because you've changed. You're no longer of the world. Now, if you start dibbling and dabbling in other things, guess what? You just polluted your virginhood. You are now adulterous. So you cannot be of the 144,000 if you're dibbling and dabbling in other religions. That's the whole point. You have to be careful. If you want to be a part of that 144,000, at least have a chance. You can't dibble and dabble in other religions. You got to stay strong. Okay. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 14. And let's go to verse 3. Verse 4, I'm sorry. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb. Who's the Lamb? Yahushua. Whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. See that? So that's how they're going to end up on that mountain. So as we read this, this is a breakdown. This whole chapter is a breakdown. And if you read verse 6, that's talking about verse 7. I mean, that's talking about chapter 7. And as you read down, it's going into different segments of the whole book of Revelation. So we'll stop where we are because I wanted to prove that these men are going to be joining Yahushua to fight in this war against all these different militaries. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra. And let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13. And let's see, do I want to read on here? Yeah, let's read on. Verse 6. And it reads, But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not. Where is that at? When you go into the book of Zechariah, he tells you he's going to arrive back on the Mount of Olives. When he comes back, he will return the same place where he left. Remember, the angel told you? Let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 1. Book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 10. Verse 9, let's start at 9. It reads, And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Out of whose sight? The disciples. This is when he went to go be with the Father after he died and resurrected. Verse 10. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? Who are these 2 men? Angels. It says, This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So he said he's going to come the same way he left. But he will not meet them as a man. He's going to come back with power. Then returned they into Jerusalem from the mount called Olives, which is from Jerusalem, a Sabbath day's journey. So he's going to come back to the same place, the Mount of Olives. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 14. He's not going to come to America. He don't have to. He has to destroy everything over there. You have to destroy the whole land of Israel again, Iraq and Iran. He has to destroy all those Arab nations over there. Russia got ties over there. America got ties over. Everybody got ties over there. China, Japan. He has to destroy all that region first. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 14. And let's read Zechariah 14 and make sure. Hold on. I think I said Zechariah 14 and 4, right? I got to go over the stuff again myself just to make sure I'm on point. Yeah, Zechariah 14 and verse 4. And it reads, and his feet, now it started 3. Then shall the Most High go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives. This is a prophecy, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east, and toward the west. And there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, ye shall flee like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And the Most High my power shall come, and all the saints with him. See that? So the 144,000 is going to meet Yahushua over there. They're going to help him fight in this battle. All right. Now that battle has to take place first before brothers and sisters over here can say, "Let's go back to Jerusalem." Okay. Let's go back to where we was earlier. Matthew 24, and let's read verse 29. Matthew 24 and 29. Then it reads, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened. Now you understand why the sun is going to be darkened, because Yahushua made it on earth. He's destroying stuff. And the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, because he's destroying stuff. He's probably throwing stars at these nations. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken, like we just read in Zechariah. It's going to be earthquakes. Okay? So when you read verse 30, guess what? He's going to appear. It says, the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and rage. That's after he done destroyed everything. All the tribes that were sealed, they're going to see him, and they're going to be crying. The remnant of Israel is going to be crying, because it tells you the remnant of Israel, which is millions of Israelites. Millions. All right? So that's after when he returns. And as you read in Matthew 25, let's go to verse 29. Matthew 20, 25 and 29, it reads, For unto everyone that hath shall be given, he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away, even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, those who don't believe. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Why? Because a lot of people are going to die in these different countries after that tribulation happens. Okay? That's why it concludes verse 31, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory. That's after he destroyed everything. Now you have an understanding. Let's go to Revelation chapter 18. The book of Revelation chapter 18 starts out. It says, and after these things, after what things? After the Messiah comes back and destroys those enemies, it says, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. That's America. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. You stay in this place, you're going to be a part of the plagues here. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So double the pleasure of her destruction is coming, because he destroyed us, or she destroyed us. It says, how much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously. Look at this place. Look how deliciously it lives off of other nations. All these places are suffering because of America. They may be living, you may think they're living nice, but they have to bow down to America just to get crumbs. Okay? When you go to those islands and stuff like that, like I said before, it's a trap, a tourist trap. They have no other way to generate money there. Okay? Unless they're using the computer. But the islanders, a lot of them don't have the education. Okay? It says, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen. What do we have? We have the Statue of Liberty over here, right? As soon as you come into America from the east, what do you see? A so-called statue, a queen. She got a crown on her head, right? It says, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Most High thy power, who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning. That's what's going to happen. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour thy judgments come. Let's go to Revelation 16, and let's go to verse 12. So that's all after the tribulation. That's after the destruction. That's when that tribulation comes. Revelation 16, and let's read verse 12. Okay, this is right before that tribulation hits. It says, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw 3 unclean spirits, like frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon. Who is the dragon? Okay, there's a beast, and then there's a dragon. Who's the dragon? All right, we got the United Kingdom and we have America. Okay, the 3 unclean. Okay, it says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. All right, so the frogs that's coming out of the mouth, if you do your research, 3 things that keep this place going: education, science, and religion. Those 3 things keep the people of America drunk. Education, science, and religion. It says, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. This is what they teach. When you hear a Catholic, it means universal. The word Catholic, it means universal. Universal what? Universal education, universal science, universal religion. All religions have to bow down to the Pope when he shows up. They have to kiss his ring. Okay? The money system. The Catholic Church controls all of it. The IMF, they're right there with it. They have all the money. Okay? Wherever they go, the red carpet is laid out. It says, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of the Most High. All of this is moving forward to this battle of Armageddon. Behold, I come as a thief. This is what Yahushua said. I'm coming as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, your knowledge, lest he walk naked. What does it mean to walk naked? Not keeping the commandments. When you don't keep the commandments, you're naked. When you don't keep the Sabbath day, you make yourself naked. Naked to anything that can happen, it can befall on you. If there's a shootout in the store and you're out there shopping willingly, knowing it's the Sabbath day, you could very well get shot being in that store because you disobeyed the Sabbath day. Knowing and willingly, you might be the first one to get shot out of 20 people. It says, and they see his shame. Verse 16, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. See that? And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, it is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightning. And there was a great earthquake. We talked about why the earthquake is coming. Yahushua is on the earth. Such as was not since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great. This ain't even in America. It says, and the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. Now it's going to Babylon. It says, and great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High. He said, okay, I've destroyed all these cities. Now it's time for me to go to Babylon. About to go over to America and get these people. It says, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. That's Revelation 18 coming into place. Right there. Look at, when you see a fight, and you see a big bully getting ready to fight a little person, all the kids kind of flee away, right? They kind of back up when that bully's coming through. Well, that's what's happening right here. It says, and every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven. When Yahushua said, you know what? Babylon came back to my mind. Let me go and deal with them. No islands fleed. They didn't want to deal with none of that. They was like, there she is, Babylon. She's sitting over there in the ocean. It says, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hail. For the plague thereof was exceedingly great. What is that hail? Is that actual hail coming from the sky? What is that? That hail, it could be 3 things. And I'm guesstimating. It could be nuclear missiles, ICBM missiles. It could be things shot from the chariots, the UFOs. Okay? Or it could actually be hail. It would be 3 of those things. Alright? So we got to remember that. Because you remember it said that Babylon fell and all the kings mourned when they saw it fell. And it said that they were all turned against the great dragon, the beast. So this is what we have. Now I got a whole list of things I could go through today. But we'd be here all day. Alright? Because in order to know why he's coming back, you have to also know the man of sin that's causing all this. Let's go to Job 9 and 24. Let's just touch on it. The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. It reads, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where? And who is he? This is Most High being funny. So who are the judges? The Israelites are the judges. Moses, Isaiah, Job, King David, Yahushua. The faces have been covered up. What did they do? Make them into Edomites. They changed the faces. It went from woolly hair down to straight hair of the Edomites. Okay? And this is the truth. Because when you read the scriptures, it says that Yahushua had woolly hair. It said that his father had woolly hair. That's the truth. Okay? So when we look at the scriptures, who is ruling the earth? It's the so-called white man, Esau. He runs the earth right now. So he's covered all the faces of the judges. When you read Genesis chapter 25, it talks about Esau. Okay? And there's so many verses and so many scriptures. Like I said, if I were to go into that today, we would be here all day. But I'm not going to go into any of those things. I just want to show you a few things. Let's go into the Song of the Three Holy Children in the Apocrypha. And for those of you who don't know what the Song of the Three Holy Children are, if you ever heard of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which is the book of Daniel, because his name was changed to Shadrach, they were thrown in a furnace, and an angel came and prevented them from getting burned. So this is what they prayed about. This is the whole story of that in the Song of the Three Holy Children. Okay, and it also tells you the prayer they had while they were in that fire and how the Most High protected them. They were praising the Most High. They wouldn't say, please, please save us, please. They weren't saying that. They were saying, blessed be the Lord of Israel. Blessed be the Lord. Praise him. Exalt him forever and ever. That's what they were doing. They wouldn't complain, oh, Lord, please save me, save me. No, they wasn't doing that. They were bold with it. They knew they were going to die, so they just went in there and just died like men. They praised the Most High going down. There wasn't no fear. Because you got to understand the word effeminate. Most brothers, when they hear the word effeminate, they think of a man acting soft like a woman with woman tendencies. Well, you have to also think about during those days, a man that was effeminate was a man that wouldn't go to war. That was the effeminate spirit. Scared to fight. Or scared to die. If you were scared to die, you was effeminate. Okay? That's why when I was speaking last night, when you figure out that you got the name of the Most High, that should bring power. You shouldn't be afraid of nothing. There's no man on this earth you should be afraid of. Okay? You could be, leery of their ways, but you shouldn't be afraid of them. Because a lot of these men are afraid to confront you. So they have crafty counsel to get at you another way, to affect you on your job or something like that. That's crafty counsel. Now you can be leery of that, but don't be afraid of death. Don't be afraid of war or to fight. Okay? But listen to what they said. This is the Song of the Three Holy Children, chapter 1, verse 9. It says, and thou didst deliver us into the hands of the lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of the Most High, and to an unjust king, and to the most wicked in all the world. You hear that? Now this is during the times of Babylon. So if the Most High called Esau the basest of man, if they were the basest kingdom, guess what? They're more wicked than these men. The most wicked of all the world. Now there's always been a back and forth fight with Jacob and Esau. Always. Esau versus the 12 tribes of Israel. The way they slayed us on the slave ships in Africa, over here in America on a steady basis. The way they took down the Native American Indians without mercy. Okay? Always been a back and forth fight. Let's go to the book of, let's see. Let's go to, I don't want to get deep into Esau right now, but I just want to touch on how their spirit is different from ours. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha. We'll read this few chapters and we'll end it. But let's see how their spirit is totally different from ours. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Totally different. And the Most High speaks on it. That's how we know. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. And let's read this whole chapter, because the whole chapter is talking about his spirit. It says, for the ungodly said, the ungodly is the heathen, especially Esau. Because remember in Psalms 83, who was the main chief enemy? It was Esau. Psalms 83. The chief enemy he speaks of first is Esau. It says, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious. This is Esau. Their life is short and tedious. And in the death of man, there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. Have you ever heard of an Edomite return from the grave? No. That was only with the Israelites. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart. Which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. That's the heathens. Remember it said, for the ungodly said, and our name shall be forgotten in time. Esau's name is forgotten in time. Okay, that's why he try to push his history down your throats. You think about some of our heroes. We got some great heroes, man. Hannibal, you think about him. That was almost 3,000, 2,500 years ago. We still talking about Hannibal. Okay? Frederick Douglass, that was 200 years ago. Geronimo, that was 100 years ago. We still talking about these men. But you think about Esau, they got to cram Esau's heroes down our throats for us to remember them. Okay? Nat Turner, everybody know Nat Turner. Some people still afraid to say his name. Don't want to give it no power. It says, and our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. That's why you see these giant skyscrapers. They're trying to make you remember them. They want you to remember who built these. They want to be remembered like the Egyptians had pyramids. So they built these great skyscrapers. So you could be like, wow, look at, they were powerful people. See those skyscrapers? And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is the very shadow that passeth away. This is Esau's voice. This is how he talks. And after our end, there is no returning. For it is fast sealed. He ain't coming back for the death. Mosiah is coming back for his people. Remember what the Maccabees told Ptolemy? They said, for us is resurrection, but for you is death and worms. All right? They knew that the Greeks wasn't about nothing. That when they died, that was the end. It says, so that no man cometh again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Talking about us. They use us. We are the creatures. That's why they enjoy themselves. They're all over the earth enjoying themselves. All you see is Edomites enjoying themselves. It said, let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments. They love to drink wine. Lots of wine. We be drinking wine, but they drink it from morning to night, every day. My pops was telling me about this Edomite. This dude drink wine all day. The minute he wake up in the morning to the time he go to bed, him and his wife. That's what they do. And let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. That's what they do. Everywhere you go. Christopher Columbus was here. Okay. Ponce de Leon was here when you hit the islands. All right. You go over to Africa. Mussolini was here. For this is our portion, and our lot is this. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Who's the poor righteous man? The 12 tribes of Israel. Those are the poor righteous men. When you go to the airport, just look outside who working in the baggage claims and stuff. It'd be us. All 12 tribes of us. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Y'all know what that is? That's in the curses. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. Let's go there real quick. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 50. It reads, the Most High shall bring I started 49. The Most High shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. See that? That's going right back to the curses. When it says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. That's what it's talking about. It says, let our strength be the law of justice. That's why you see all these laws and policies being changed. Okay, homosexuality is passing, same-sex marriage is passing. Okay, you got to pick up your dog's crap. You know, dog can't poop in somebody else's yard anymore. I mean, nobody wants that in their yard, but I'm just saying, even the dogs got to be in order now. The cats got to be in order. All these laws. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. So the Most High said, all the stuff they pass ain't worth nothing. It ain't doing no good to the earth. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean, contrary to our doings. Who is the righteous? Those of Israel, the 12 tribes. They're lying in wait to cause us to fall. As we read, you'll see. It says, he upbraideth us with our offending the law. It's us. What are we doing? Keep the commandments. They fight us tooth and nail. Well, you ain't got to keep the laws no more. That's done away with. They're the ones pushing that. Okay, right into our churches of our people. They push that all the way down. And objective to do our infamy, the transgression of our education. He professeth to have knowledge of the Most High. Don't they act like that? Jimmy Swaggart professed that he have knowledge of the Most High. What did he do? He pedophilia, sleeping with prostitutes. All right. He called for himself the child of the Lord. That's what he do. All right. What's the name of the other guy? Tammy and the Christian evangelist. They all got problems. Yeah, Baker, Tammy Baker and her husband, Jim Baker. All right. He was made to reprove our thoughts. That's what Esau was made for. I mean, we were made for that. We are reproving the thoughts of Esau. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are different from Esau. Remember what he said in Genesis chapter 25? 2 nations are in the wombs of Rebekah. One is stronger than the other. Okay? Who's the one that was stronger? Not Esau. Jacob. Jacob had a stronger spirit than Esau did. Verse 16. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. That's how we look at them. Counterfeits. Revelation 2:9 says, I know thy works, I know thy tribulation, but thou art what? Rich. And I know the blasphemy that say they are Jews and are not, but the synagogue of Satan. We look at them as counterfeits. They are not the real Jews. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. Right, he is our Father. Let us see if his words be true. Let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of God, that's what they're saying about us. Let's prove that they ain't the sons of the Most High. He will help him. They're saying if we set him up, send him to jail, if we do this, we'll prove that he's not the son of God, because he's not going to come help him. We'll put him in chains. We'll have his wife go against him or his husband go against her. You know, we'll pay him under the table to do things to him, to prove that he's not a son of God, to see if we could break his faith. Okay? For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Name me one black Latino celebrity that didn't catch fire, that didn't have problems. Mike Tyson had problems, all right? George Foreman had problems. What's his name? Al Green had problems. All these brothers had problems. Okay, Little Richard, you name them. They all had problems. They all got put up under the gun. Okay, James Brown. I don't think they buried James Brown for like 2 to 3 weeks. They were having a custodial battle. Okay, Aretha Franklin left all his properties all tangled up. You know, verse 20, it says, let us condemn him with a shameful death. That's what they did with a lot of our people. Look at how they treated King James, saying he was a homosexual. He wasn't a homosexual. For by his own sayings he shall be rejected. They're trying to make you fall so you can't enter into the kingdom. That's their whole duty. So going into verse 21 talks about how Jacob, this is all about Jacob's voice. It says, such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. As for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. For the Most High created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. What man did he make immortal? The 12 tribes of Israel. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 15. It reads, for righteousness is immortal. See that? But ungodly men with their works and words called it to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed it to naught and made a covenant with it, because they are worthy to take part with it. Righteousness is to be immortal. To keep God's laws is to be immortal. It's life. He said, keep my laws and live, in Proverbs 7:2. Verse 24 of chapter 2, it reads, nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. You want to hang out with Satan, you're going to die with Satan. You're going to die if you follow the ways of Satan. You don't follow the ways of righteousness, it's death. So Yahushua is coming for those who are striving to be immortal. That's who he's coming back for. Let's read one more chapter, and we're not going to read the whole thing. We're going to read chapter 3 of Wisdom of Solomon, because this talks about what happens to the righteous, what happens to those who believe. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. That's why we say keep the laws. You ain't got to worry about all this stuff. You know, we got to stay sober and vigilant. It says, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken from misery, and their going from us to be utter destruction. But they are in peace. You see a lot of brothers that are living right, sometimes they die. They have heart attacks or whatever. They die. You be like, oh, that's a shame. That's just too bad. But guess what? They're at peace. If they live their life right on the earth, the Most High is going to bless them to go into paradise. Okay? It was just their time to go. It was their time to go. Sometimes he removes the righteous before the day of destruction comes. He takes them out of the way. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. See that? And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself, As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. Gold, it takes a long time to make gold. And it takes a lot of pressure and fire to make gold. And the Most High is comparing his believers to that. And in the time of their visitation they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. I love that part. That's how we're going to be when Yahushua return. We're going to be like sparks. To and fro. Remember how Yahushua had that spiritual body? He was just popping up here, popping up there. They couldn't figure out how he just appeared in the upper room. Or he popped up when two brothers were walking down the path and then he just disappeared. That's how we're going to be. We're going to be like sparks. You see us 1 minute, you don't see us, boom, boom, in and out. You know, just going through different doors of dimensions, popping in and popping out. Beautiful thing, man. That's what's coming. It says, they shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and the Lord shall reign forever. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints. Again, it's going right back to the Israelites. And he have care for his elect. We'll stop right there.
This is the word of the Lord of hosts. I took you from the pastures and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.